The New Hampshire runner-up, Ohio Governor John Kasich, is with us now from North Charleston, South Carolina. Governor, good morning.
Thanks, Charlie. Good to be with you.
Some are saying your second-place finish is one of the surprises of the night. Where do you go from here? Because others argue that you don't have, the money or the staff to go ahead and meet and take advantage of the momentum coming out of New Hampshire.
Well, Charlie, a lot of people said a lot of things. They said I wasn't going to get in the race, I wouldn't raise the money, I wouldn't make the debate, I wouldn't do well in New Hampshire, I was going to drop out, I was going to disappear, and now we're here. So I love being underestimated. I have all of my lifetime. So we're in South Carolina. We're going to compete here and in parts of South Carolina, but we're going to be moving on, of course, to the rest of the country.
You know, Governor Kasich, you said last night that you managed to do as well as you did without going negative. Negative seems to be working for some of the candidates. Do you intend to continue that strategy?
Well, look, if somebody pounds me, I'm not going to take a pounding. I'm not some kind of a pincushion or a marshmallow. But look, I think people are tired of the negativity. I mean, I think the ability to talk about what you want to do. The reason a lot of people go negative is because their positive doesn't work. So imagine if you were running for office and you didn't have much positive, so all you spent your time doing was talking negative. I mean, that's sort of a downer, I think it is. But look, I think people want to know we can solve problems. I've been a reformer all of my lifetime, and my message is real simple. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, at the beginning and at the end, you should be an American working together to solve problems. And that message, I think, works. If it doesn't, I can't change my message. It's just the way it goes.
All right.
Politicians will argue there may be a difference between negative and being comparative. One of your opponents, Jeb Bush, is running a lengthy ad attacking your record as governor of Ohio, noting that you chose to expand Medicaid, that also you've offered a pathway to citizenship for illegal immigrants. Will that message resonate in South Carolina, which is a much more conservative electorate than New Hampshire?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, the Bush campaign spent they raised like $115 million. They spent like $50 million in New Hampshire. They couldn't work with a positive message, so they just go negative, and distorting negative. I'm sort of, as Arnold Schwarzenegger once told me about negative campaigns, he said, John, love the beatings. So I do love the beatings, but the fact is the Bush campaign can't figure out what it's for, and a candidate can't seem to know what he's for, so they spend all their time bashing somebody else.
Governor, you had a lot of town meetings, a lot of people trying to figure out what's on the mood of voters. What is it they're looking for? What are they unhappy about? What did you discover from all those town meetings that you had in New Hampshire?
Well, Charlie, one of the things that I discovered is that a lot of people don't have anybody to listen to them. They don't have anybody that celebrates their victories, and they don't have anybody that can sit down and cry with them. There are people who are lonely, and one of the things I learned in my own personal life is to slow down, look people in the eye, give them a hug, listen to them. And that's important. But the other aspect, of course, and critically important, the other aspect is nothing in the country will really be the way it ought to be if we're not creating jobs. And, I've been able to do it as chairman of the Budget Committee in Washington and as governor of Ohio, and I've got a plan that, that I can implement in the first 100 days. And as I tell people, and you've known me a long time, I have so many ideas and so many things I want to change. I tell people, get ready. The first 100 days, if you don't have a seatbelt on your chair, go and get one, because you're not going to see anything like this.
Governor Kasich, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you in the program. I hope you'll come to New York and sit at the table with us.
Come back to the table. Yes, we'd love to see you again.
Congratulations.
I'll do it. Thank you.